So today I'm going to say just a beta, maybe 1 or 2 packs, Brian. But the key is you and I love 1990s basketball. So we're going to break this pack of cards. So what I'm going to do, by the way, is I know on some pack breaking, like they show it all. You mentioned that's not great. We have this nice little film camera up here. It's got a Dragon Ball Z card showing. We're going to use that. Oh, Brian, this feels so good. I'm opening the pack. You were saying that didn't do as much for you, but did you have the nostalgia for old packs?
um, no, so I guess for me, I was 100% about the game and the competition. I gave zero craps about the collecting. So that's just how I was. But I was around it enough that I understand it a little
I am a child again right now, Brian. So we'll do these somewhat quick. All right. So very first card out of this pack, I'm going to pull off the Dragon Ball Z. Very first card out of the pack, Brian.
Oh, I'm
Derek
ready.
Smith. I don't actually have anything on
Oh,
this.
rugged rebounder.
Oh, very nice. And let's see. Let's take a look, Brian, to see if you've got that memory right. So Derek Smith in 1990 played with the Philadelphia 76ers, 172. This is wild, Brian. So it's 9.6 rebounds. Oh, Brian, this is amazing. I got to show this off. Fleer, 1990-91 Fleer. This is our kind of card. Because if you look at the very bottom, I'm going to see it flip over in a second. The very bottom of the Fleer card, per 48 minutes.
Yeah.
That's wins produced right there.
Yep.
Next card I got here, Brian, is just a checklist, but I'll throw it on there so people can see.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to need that. And by the way, I have a site. I don't know. I sent you a link in the chat, but there is a site, tcdb.com. I'm on there as Nerd Numbers. I'm going to start uploading my collection. What I'm going to do is I'm going to penny sleeve all of these. I have a binder. And if there are super cool ones, right? Michael Jordan, if he shows up in this, which I talked to the guy in the toy shop or collectible shop, that's Scooter G's in Appleton, Wisconsin. He is retiring. He said allegedly in June, but you should check it out. It's an amazing store. I told my brother I was so thrilled to find it and so thrilled that it's going out of business because it's just good for my wallet. My brother said, "Oh, is it because he's going to give you a discount and everything?" I said, "No, it's so I'm not going to spend all my money there." So there's that. There's the checklist. All right, Brian, this was one that made me
And
really sad.
we're losing your audio a little bit right now when you lean
because
over.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll remember to talk. I'll put the card on, come back and talk. All right. So this made me sad, Brian. The Denver Nuggets, horrible team this year. So I just got Dan Shays as center. Horrible. I think the top wins producer on the Nuggets in 1990-91 was 6 wins produced.
Son of Dolph Shays.
Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, Danny Shays.
Oh, this is fun, Brian. I'm gonna have to get a slightly better setup. Oh, Brian, I'm looking in the future. I'm saving one for you.
Oh, 1990 is prime for short shorts. We're getting a lot of short shorts in on these cards.
Although, holy cow, man, Shays 16.2 rebounds for 48.
Not bad.
And I'm looking here. It is not. Okay, Brian, guess what the top of the thing? It would not show up on camera. You mentioned this, but the first thing on his little biography that, I can read in the back, the son of NBA Hall of Famer Dolph. So
that's right.
Brian, you may not have collected these cards, but that's because you didn't need to. They were all in your brain. Some of you may forget that before Basketball Reference, this is what we had to use for our stats. All right, Brian, we're getting some good ones here.
Oh,
Bernard King.
That's Bernard nice King. He's a few years past his big year right now, but still not a bad player.
Oh, Brian, by the way, I'm going to tell you ahead. I cheated. I looked ahead. This is an awesome pack. So we're going to get some good
Gerald
cards.
Wilkins guarding him too there. Dominic's brother.
What the Brian? You are. So
I watched basketball in the 90s.
For years we've had you at 3 nicknames. So we've had producer, which I know it's arguable if that's a valid nickname, but producer, voice of God,
Norman.
man of many hats. Those are our big, our big 3. We might just have to give you like the like human basketball card engine, right? Like they're in your head. So nothing special there, Brian, but this is the appetizer to the next one. So this next one,
Ken Norman played on the Bucks, I think, after he was on the Clippers.
Okay. Holy cow, Brian, you ready for this one? This one I'm marking for you. So by the way,
gotta give a shout out
other friend of the show.
Oh, Chris Mullen.
Other
Wow.
friend of the show. So we're gonna throw this out. You are an amazing Magic player, and then of course we also have Seth Burn. Is it Burn or Burns? Just Burn, right?
Seth Byrne.
Seth
Yep.
Byrne, amazing Magic writer, prolific player as well. Some fun stuff we'll talk there. And I told him about the pack break, and he's like, "If you find a Charles Oakley, put my name on it." So I want one for me, but this one, Brian, I'm not even doing for me since it's the inaugural pack breaking. This one, I'm putting your name on, Chris Mullen for Brian. And holy cow, look at this
He would
guy.
go on to play in Dream Team 1 4 years later.
Love it. I have that poster. And you want to know what's really frustrating about this card, Brian? It does not have 3 point statistics on the back. So
Yep. Isn't that funny?
25.1 points per game, 53.6 average this in 1990, but does not have his 3 point stats. Can you believe that? All right.
Yeah, and
And
he was actually one of the few players that could shoot threes in those days.
oh, he was amazing.
Oh,
And
Reggie Theus. Nice.
we have argued this that he really should like that team should have made it to the Indiana Pacers with him and Reggie Miller on it. Really should have beaten the Bulls. And if like
Mm.
Mata and Mike D'Antoni went back and was doing that, they easily would have. So nothing special there.
Oh,
Chris
Chris
Morris, I don't
Morris.
remember much of anything. What do you got, Brian? Human Encyclopedia.
No, I just remember he was on the Nets, and he
This
was
is
he was drafted a little bit high and had some hype, but he never panned out really. But he was kind of fun.
oh nice. Second year, not half bad, but J.R. Reed is on deck.
Nice.
All
Yeah,
right, Brian.
those Hornets teams were awesome. So it might have been a year or two after this, but they had, you remember, Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues, and J.R. Reed played center and power forward for them quite a bit. They had some good playoff runs against some of those teams. They played against the Pacers, like you were talking about. Yeah, like the Bull,
Larry
some other
Johnson,
teams
one
as
of those
well.
classic old school
Yeah,
bigs that just does not give
Grandmama.
the yeah. All right, Brian. This player not amazing, but this is going to be a throwback. You ready for this? Seattle
Oh,
Supersonics.
X Man, Xavier McDaniel. I was a fan of his.
Brian, this is so behind the curtain pre-show we were talking this and I was like Brian, I injected this into my veins. I love this, right? And like Jeff May is the same boat. And you're like, I didn't really collect much. I don't know. But then like this is just too perfect and we love the 90s. Brian, I don't know if you can pick this up, but I think it's hilarious. This is Todd Murphy as a forward. I need Boxscore Geeks up for some of this. But Todd Murphy,
This is the first guy you kind of stumped me with. I actually don't remember Todd Murphy.
but if you look at the top of his card, it is the league's fewest turnovers in 1990. Auspicious honor.
I mean, did he
So let me.
play the fewest minutes as well? Because I would do it. Sorry, Todd.
Okay. Do you want? Okay, Brian. Do you want a couple of fun things? So one,
Hmm.
Todd Murphy with one D. That's kind of
Yep.
ridiculous. But another fun thing is in 1990, 1991. So the stats on these cards go back through 1990. Brian, this next one, oh my goodness, we could spend all night talking this one. This pack, Brian, this pack rocked. I'm gonna have to put up a
A
team when we're
banger.
done.
Oh,
Check
Nuggets
the
player.
oh my
Oh,
goodness.
fat lever.
But you want to know
Oh
the rough
man.
part, Brian? I looked this up. It's on the card. This was the year he was traded to Dallas. So bummer. But Fat Lever, this is a guy that like averaged, was a triple double machine. And I mean, I think if you really, really look at him, he would turn, what would happen with him is he would really be like, like a 16, 8, and 8 kind of guy, but still ridiculous. Now, here's what's really sad about this, Brian. 1989, 1990 with Denver puts up 18 wins produced,
Mm.
ridiculous player, injured. Gets traded to Dallas in 1991. He plays a grand total of 86 minutes that season. So that turns out to be good for Denver, right? I actually really want to look up and see what he was traded for that season. And by the way, we'll get better at this and learning. Like I need basketball. I need my my cheat codes, right? I need basketball reference and box score geeks just up in front of me before doing this. But let's see. He was nothing good. He was traded to Dallas Mavericks for for 2 first round picks, Willie Burton and LaBradford Smith. So unless those weren't involved in trades for other things, nothing special for that. All right, right, Brian. Now we had Chris Mullen, we had Fat Lever, both amazing players, 1989-90, but they're not going to win this year.
Oh, the Admiral.
Check it. Oh my goodness.
The Admiral. Was he an MVP contention that year, Dre? He might have been.
So 1989, 1990. Let's just see really quick.
That was his heyday. Maybe
I
he's a little bit young.
well, I do know. So here's what's funny, Brian. So a lot of these sets. This is Fleer. My hoop sets were hoop. My NBA trading card sets were the hoop sets. I remember back in the day, and I've started pricing these packs. I had a corner store that got in a vintage set from the 1989 1990 season, and that is David Robinson's rookie year.
Ah, okay.
So, with that being said, I do know for a fact, although Brian, your memory, again, you are the human trading card. I'm gonna have to find a slightly better, but Brian, guess who led the league in wins produced in 1991, 1990 to 1991? I think you know the answer.
Alex
David
English? Oh,
Robinson.
David Robinson, yeah.
David Robinson, 25 wins produced. So this is the best. We're going by wins produced, the best card in the set.
Hell
All right, Brian,
yeah.
we got two more to go. Nothing special on those. It doesn't matter. We got Fat Lever,
Oh,
Chris
Fred
Mullins.
Roberts.
All right, you got anything? This one
I
I
got
don't
nothing on
remember.
Fred. Sorry, Fred.
All right, sorry, Fred. And then last one, and by the way, Brian, I'm such a nerd. I am looking so forward to going to
Oh, Derek
tcdb.com.
Harper.
Derek Harper, not bad.
He went on to
And
have a heck of a career as well. So this is Mavericks Derek Harper. Nice.
so Derek Harper, this is interesting. So Derek Harper, close to average that season, 5.3 wins produced. Nothing really special, although he
But then he goes
was
to the Knicks not long after that, right?
goes to. I mean, what he really looks like. We call this funny because the name I use for it in the future is Derek Fisher, right? So I say the Derek Fisher player, which is an average player that helps out a squad. So it's worth noting that Derek Harper goes to the New York Knicks, like you're saying, and that's a team that really, really close, right? A few times they make it to the finals, and I believe I want to say 95. He's on them as an average player. So Derek Harper was Derek Fisher before Derek Fisher. There you go. All right, Brian, that was a heck of a lot of fun. I'm gonna call that good.